Now let's push all that to the side and talk about something really funny.
Okay.
All right, so I don't know if you guys know Tana Mongeau. She's cool. She's cool. She's had a past though. I met her in playlist. She was actually really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Like I met her in playlist. She was nice. We took a picture together, and she wasn't really like cocky or anything like that. So that's really cool. There was something that just leaked right now. I don't know if it was intentional. If it was intentional on her part, I wouldn't be surprised, because a lot of these social media stars are very smart, and they fabricate a lot of these things. So there's a picture of her and her friend where their waists are so thin and they look so skinny. For me, I thought it was real. I was like, how does
Same.
she stay, like, how does this girl stay skinny? Like, and then there was like some stories that got leaked from Snapchat, I think it was, or Instagram stories. And it was a Snapchat of her with like a big belly. She looked incredibly fat. And I sound horrible saying this, okay, because I'm not fat shaming or anything like that. If you are fat, own it. There's nothing wrong with it, but I would prefer, and I would love it if you really took care and pushed through your health. But I'm not to speak. It's none of my business. People are free to do what they want. But if I was fat, I would do everything within my power to lose that weight. I had a belly, and I had to get rid of that, because you know how Egyptians are. We have that belly syndrome, and our fatness goes all to our belly, and we get like a really big belly. What did you think about that?
Well, talking about about this kind of stuff in general, I mean, so like for example, a lot of people, like influencers, regular people, like I don't know, like just girls, maybe like boys. A lot of people are actually using this kind of like programs like Photoshop and different apps for the phone.
Yeah.
And there is like this cult of being perfect, like in Instagram, like showing
Yeah,
the
we know
best
that, but what
of
do you?
your sites.
I understand, but like, what is your like? What? Like, I think it's just getting out of hand. These Photoshop pictures. Like, for example, I've seen people Photoshop maybe a little here, a little there, but she Photoshopped her entire body shape. Okay.
Yeah, but maybe it was also like about the angle. Who knows?
To an extent where it was
well, not everything, but some.
it was crazy. Okay, it was crazy. I was like, there is no way a girl is that skinny, or there's no way that, I don't know. It just for me it looked real, but then I couldn't believe it when it turned out to be fake, and I was like, there's no way that can be like photo. Like how did she hide all of that? And you're right, it is the angle. She obviously took it head on, so the belly doesn't show from the side, and then she's just like tightening her waist. I have my thoughts about Photoshops and stuff like that. I really don't care. People could do whatever they want. I think it's cool. If you want to do that, do it. But I think it's funny. If we're gonna find out about it and we're gonna laugh, don't expect to be sad. I mean, you kind of prepped yourself up for that. So it was funny, and people laughed, and it just shows that wow.
Yes, and there's like that page in Instagram where that is showing stars, like actually like big stars, like fashion models, singers, actresses, who are like doing the same thing for their pictures.
Yeah, you showed me that.
And there is like one like a
crazy.
picture, like for example, like from
Comparison
original
pictures,
one,
right?
the original one from the photographer, and the second one is from their like those stars' Instagram accounts, and that's just crazy that not only like regular people are doing that, but also like stars, like famous people. To be honest, that's really funny because you always like look at like fashion models and you're like, oh my gosh, they're so perfect, and they're doing it like this kind of Photoshop anyway, and that's just interesting because it's like someone might think like, okay, like this girl is perfect, but that girl is gonna like Photoshop her picture as well. And I feel like this is just like some sort of a cult right now because for example, if the picture is going to be perfect, someone is gonna find
something wrong
imperfections.
Yeah.
Anyways, like a little small thing. And in terms of the fact that social media is crazy and it's so wide, it's gonna be known.
Expect it. I mean, that's what I'm gonna say. Expect it. It's gonna happen. I mean, don't be surprised. But
Yeah.
I honestly think it was intentional. She probably did that on purpose so it could go viral and people could talk about it. Or maybe I'm just giving her too much credit and she probably just slipped up and somebody caught her. But when I see things like that, it makes me happy for other girls because I feel like a lot of girls out there have the wrong idea of beauty, especially with all that dang Photoshop. You girls have the wrong idea of beauty, and I can imagine young girls being like, I want to look like her, and they body shame themselves and they hate themselves because they don't look like that. When in reality, what you see from the pictures is not reality. You know, it's Photoshop, and even in real life, they kind of Photoshop themselves in real life by wearing corsets and whole tucking and everything, and you know, surgery and all that stuff. I was happy when I saw that. I was like, good. Now, you know, kids could see that and they could realize like, oh, she's fat just like me. She got ripples just like me. You know, like I could be just as beautiful as her, or probably even more beautiful. So it made me happy like things like this happen. And it's going to be harder for people to hide a lot of things like that as we progress in the future because, like I said, there's cameras everywhere now. There's a camera in our phones. There's a camera here, there. There's cameras everywhere that are going to catch the truth. So it's always better to, well, one, stay quiet. Don't say anything that you don't want people to, you know, that you wouldn't want anyone to hear, or something that you don't associate yourself with. And two, live your life honestly. A lot of people don't live their life honestly. But who am I to judge? I met her. She was nice. Whatever.